Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe of Roz Ka Khana with Figaro olive oil, I'm going to be showing you a very classic bharwa bhindi that's going to be cooked along with a chatpata spicy tomato masala. I'm going to be cooking this dish in pure olive oil. So many of you ask me which oil that we should use for cooking. There is extra virgin olive oil, there's pomace, there's pure olive oil, and there's so many more. Well, if you're looking to make foods for everyday cooking, like from suji halwa to bhindi to curry to upma and so many more Indian dishes, then pure olive oil is the olive oil that you must use for cooking because it is packed with all the nutrient benefits that the olive oil comes with. So now that you know which olive oil that you must use in your everyday cooking, let's just dive right in and start making this dish. Now to begin making the bharwa bhindi, you need a simple set of ingredients. Okay, so I have some peanuts. This is roasted peanuts with the skin removed. I have sort of ground it into a coarse powder. And to this, and I'm going to add in some til, which is sesame seeds, and all the other masalas that goes into the filling, which is the bharwa, right? And this is garam masala, that's turmeric powder, haldi, and I have that coriander powder, very important, right? And some red chili powder for the spice, and some amchur powder for that chatpata. Okay, and finally some besan, which is going to hold all the masalas together when we're actually going to cook them in the pan. Okay, so I'm just going to add some besan, and to this I also have to add some salt, and finally some olive oil that I can add in to sort of combine it. You can add a little bit of water and a little bit of olive oil as well. Okay, so now that we have our masala ready, give it a quick taste. And some people like to add some jaggery into it. So if you like sweet and spicy flavor, you can go ahead and add some jaggery, but I'm just not going to add it right now. So now I have my bhindi here. Some of them are already slit, and I'm going to show you how to slit it quickly. So you have the top of the bhindi. So I'm just going to sort of remove the top and remove the slight stem at the bottom. Okay, just going to remove that. And this bhindi, I'm just going to sort of ensure that I slit it not completely and all the way through, but just almost 3/4, halfway through, okay, so that you can sort of fill the filling in, and so that you can open it and you can put the masalas into the bhindi. Okay, so I'm just going to use my hand and stuff the masala. Right, so just press it in, and so all the masala just gets packed inside the bhindi, and sort of wipe it down so it just goes in and hold it tight together, right? So when we're cooking it, it just stays inside. Just going to fill the other bhindis now. Now that I've filled all the bhindis, and I have some masala still remaining, don't put that masala away. Once the bhindi is cooking in the pan, I'm just going to add this extra masala into it, and it'll taste really nice. I'm just going to move this away and start showing you how to cook it. So now to start, the next step is to pour some olive oil into the pan. Just going to add in the pure olive oil. To this, I'm going to add in some garlic that I just mashed it with a knife, and some ginger grated. Some sliced onions, which I'm going to add in, and saute them until the onions become nice and soft. Okay, so this is about 3 to 4 minutes. So we'll turn the heat to high and saute the onions until it turns pale in color and softens. Now that the onions are lightly softened, it's become pale in color. I'm not going to let it cook too much because it's going to cook along with the bhindi once again, right? So I'm just going to add in the stuffed bhindi into this, and we'll just roast the bhindi. I'm going to cover the pan and allow the steam to sort of cook the bhindi for about few minutes before I add in the tomatoes and the remaining masala that we have. Okay, so I'm just going to now cover the pan and allow the bhindi to cook. Just before I do that, I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit salt. Remember that the stuffing has some salt, but take care. I'm adding the salt so that the sort of steam, so the bhindi starts giving out water and it will release steam to make it cook a little more. Okay, it's just that pinch is required. Just going to cover the pan and allow it to steam cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. It's been about 4 to 5 minutes or less, maybe a little more. I kept stir frying it while it was cooking and ensured that it doesn't burn, or ensure the heat is right. Okay, so it's cooked. Then when you know it's cooked, when you sort of press it down and it breaks easily, right? And it's not stiff, it's soft. And that's it. So now at this stage I'm going to add in the tomato puree. Okay, and that's going to be the masala, and the remaining masala that we had, which the extra filling masala, just going to take that and add it in. We'll stir it in. I'm just going to ensure that I gently stir it in. So most often bharwa bhindi is had as a dry sabzi without the masala, but I like adding the tomato masala because then when it is done this way, you can actually have it along with some fulkas or naan or tawa paratha, and it tastes really nice. You don't need like a separate like kadhi or dal to sort of have it along with. So add in the tomato puree and then simmer it for a few more minutes and your bharwa bhindi will be ready. Okay, so I'm just going to ensure that I carefully sort of toss this masala into the bhindi so that the bhindi doesn't sort of break away. Okay, so I'm going to let this cook for another 3 to 4 minutes and then we'll be ready to serve this dish. So I hope you enjoyed watching the recipe of how to make this bharwa bhindi in a tomato masala. It's a rich tomato masala, so if you want to make it like gravyish, then you add a little bit of water and then make it gravy. Serve it along with some tawa paratha and some jeera pulao and you will surely love it. Do try this recipe. When you do, don't forget to share your comments and we'd love to hear your feedback. Do watch our other Roz Ka Khana recipes with Figaro olive oil, and we'll be having more such recipes coming up. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.